Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shab. A major gun battle erupted in Kathua in Jammu and Kashmir. A fierce encounter took place after security forces intercepted a fresh group of infiltrators. Meanwhile, a 7-year-old girl, she was injured in crossfire. She's stable now. She's out of danger. Security forces, in fact, launched a cordon and search operation in Sanyal in Hiranagar, Kathua, where 4 to 5 terrorists are believed to be trapped. Reports also indicate an encounter has begun at that particular site, and further updates are currently awaited. 4 to 5 heavily armed terrorists. They are believed to be holed in the forest area of Kathua. Reinforcement has been rushed to the area. Police, army and paramilitary are carrying out the joint operation there as well.
Well, it appears to be a heavily armed militant group that was spotted by the locals in Hiranagar area near international border in the evening at around 5 p.m. They immediately alerted the police, and police was joined by the quick reaction teams of CRPF and an encounter started. It was intense firing started, and army also joined this operation. We know in Jammu region has been the major target of militants and the major site of encounters and attacks over the last few years. This region was free from militancy, but over the last few years it has become it is high on terror radar. So clearly it appears handlers from across the border has pushed this group into Jammu region, into Kathua. Kathua is a district which is bordering Pathankot in Punjab, which you can understand the sensitivity. It's not in the valley normally where encounters used to happen. Now, as we know, theatre of militants has increasingly shifted from the valley to the plains of Jammu, and more out of 8 districts appear to be heavily affected by militancy over the last 3-4 years. But Kathua has become since last 2 years much more infested and affected. And now, as the security forces, army, police and the CRPF has launched this joint operation during the night, their operation has been halted to prevent any collateral damage or the damage to security forces, and the operation will be resumed at the first light in the morning. That's always the standard operating procedure for the security forces when they launch the operation, anti-militancy operations. It is still unclear and would be a matter of investigation if this heavily armed group, which is believed to be the Jaish group, was sent here to carry out some attack, according to sources, after Jafar Express attack by the Baloch Liberation Army in Balochistan, Pakistan. There were indications that Pakistan may try to do some mischief in Jammu and Kashmir, and security force was on high alert. In fact, these quick reaction teams of the CRPF were also deployed in this area just a few days back in apprehension, in anticipation of any infiltration or any such thing. So this time when they got the information, they were the very quick reaction team was very quick to respond to the situation. So it is a joint operation, RB police and the CRPF, and it's going to be a long night, and it would be only known by tomorrow if those militants, heavily armed militants, are still holed up there. These are the militants which have been normally we have seen when in Jammu region they send these militants who are trained in jungle warfare, and most of the times they had inflicted casualties on security forces. But this time, since they have been intercepted and trapped in this jungle area, so clearly it appears security force has an upper hand, but we have to see if many militants manage to escape or they would be trapped and eventually neutralized by the security forces. Clearly, it's not an easy operation, but security force appear to be well prepared to deal with the situation.
The Supreme Court has released a report complete with videos and photos showing sacks of charred currency notes allegedly recovered from the residence of Delhi High Court Judge Yashwant Verma during a firefighting operation. Justice Verma, he has denied those claims of a massive cash stash hidden at his home, but the questions are mounting, and Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna, he has now tasked a 3-member panel of the High Court judges to get to the bottom of this.
Because one cannot recall an incident where such a grave allegation of actually cash being present in the house of a sitting judge has ever been raised or discovered. If crores of rupees are found in a sitting judge's house, it obviously creates a big issue that has to be answered and looked into. Now, the Supreme Court, because the report of the Honorable Chief Justice of Delhi High Court has recommended and said that the explanations or a deeper probe is required, has formed an inquiry committee under its procedure. We'll have to wait for that report. But this obviously raises larger questions about the presence of at least corruption in some segments of the judiciary.
I'm reporting from outside Delhi High Court Judge Yashwant Verma's official residence in Tughlaq Road. He has been embroiled in a mysterious yet shocking controversy in the past 1 week. It all began on 14th of March, a day before Holi. The night he was travelling with his wife to Bhopal, a fire broke out in the storeroom of his at his official residence. It was a minor fire. The Delhi Fire Services acted promptly. No casualties was reported. But what happened next turned this into a high-profile case. During the post-fire inspection, some of the officials stumbled upon 4 to 5 sacks filled with burnt currency notes inside the storeroom. They saw 15 crore rupees, burnt notes of 500,000 rupees found in sacks in the storeroom. And after that, the Delhi Police Commissioner personally briefed the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, Devendra Upadhyay, and he then reviewed the photos and videos of those charred notes, currency notes, and then he asked for an inquiry, a preliminary inquiry to be done. And the initial probe revealed that the storeroom was accessed by Mr. Yashwant Verma, his family members, domestic staff, and also possibly the CPWD personals. But Mr. Yashwant Verma has totally denied his involvement in this cash discovery of 15 crore rupees in his storeroom. He said that he doesn't access the storeroom. It is separated from the living room, and he himself was traveling when this incident happened. And he is saying that this is a conspiracy theory to malign him. Currently, we know that the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, has asked for a deeper record of all the security personals who have been posted here at his official residence in the last 6 months. The CGI has also asked for the call logs of Mr. Yashwant Verma to understand the origin of this money and who handled the money post the fire incident. Most importantly, Mr. Yashwant Verma has been instructed to not get any work right now. He has not been transferred. He is here right now in the national capital because the CGI has formed a 3-member judge committee who will be doing a deeper level investigation against this man and also a deeper probe in this matter.
Over 4 years after taking up the investigation, the CBI has submitted a closure report in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case, covering 2 related cases. One involving allegations by Rajput's father against his then-girlfriend actor Rhea Chakrabarti, and another involving Rhea Chakrabarti's counter-allegations against Sushant Singh Rajput's family. According to sources, the CBI found no evidence that anyone had pushed Sushant Rajput to take his own life, clearing Rhea Chakrabarti and her family of any wrongdoing. The agency has reportedly exonerated all the individuals named in the 2 FIRs. Rhea Chakrabarti's lawyer, Satish Manashinde, he in fact expressed gratitude to the CBI for its thorough investigation, stating that both him and Rhea Chakrabarti, they appreciated the agency's efforts.
क्लीन चिट नहीं है, ये गलत नैरेटिव चला रहे हैं। सीबीआई का कहना है कि उसके खिलाफ में उनको प्रूफ्स नहीं मिले हैं और इस क्लोजर रिपोर्ट को लॉ में ऐसी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है। उनका क्लोजर रिपोर्ट आने के बाद में भी कोर्ट अभी भी कॉग्निजेंस ले सकता है, मर्डर का केस का कॉग्निजेंस ले सकता है, अरेस्ट वारंट निकाल सकता है या फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेशन के ऑर्डर दे सकता है। जैसा कि नूपुर तलवार के केस में, आरुषि तलवार के केस में, डबल मर्डर केस में कोर्ट ने सीबीआई का क्लोजर रिपोर्ट डबल मर्डर केस रिजेक्ट किया था और कोर्ट ने खुद कॉग्निजेंस लिया और अरेस्ट वारंट निकाला मर्डर केस का।
The closure report has been filed by Central Bureau of Investigation in the case of Sushant Singh Rajput almost 4.5, that is 4.5 years after the case came to light. Now, this is an important development for the people involved in this entire investigation and also, somewhere for Maharashtra politics and the conversation surrounding Maharashtra politics at the moment. Firstly, it's a huge moment of relief for someone like Riya Chakravarti, who faced a huge amount of trial on social media and of course different platforms as well. As a result of this, we know that after the unfortunate incident took place, a complaint was filed against her in Patna by Mr. KK Singh, Sushant Singh Rajput's father, and then after that, a counter complaint was filed by Riya Chakravarti against Sushant Singh's family. Now, both of these things were taken into consideration by Supreme Court, and the investigation was handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation, who looked into this matter thoroughly, and they have submitted their closure report, in which they very clearly stated that there is no case of any foul play, there is no case of any abetment of suicide. This is a plain case of suicide. Now, what is important is that this is not the end all of the entire discussion, because this report by the CBI will now be tabled, in front of the judiciary, where the court will take this report into consideration on the 8th of April and will decide whether to close this case for once and for all, or to rectify it or to make any more changes or considerations into it. Now, what is the political angle? We've been seeing that Disha Salian's case has again made it back to the political conversation after the allegations being made by the Rane family against Aditya Thackeray, and there is some sort of a connection between Disha Salian's death and Sushant Singh Rajput's case. Unfortunate death which happened, in the difference of or in the span of 15 days. So will that become a talking point in the last week of Maharashtra Assembly session here during the budget month is something that we'll have to wait and watch out for.
With the latest in the Meerut murder case, a CCTV has shown Saurabh's last moments, the victim, Saurabh Rajput's last video before death. The moment this video is, the CCTV video shows the moments before that chilling murder that took place. On the 4th of March, remember Muskan and Sahil, the two accused, they allegedly stabbed and killed Saurabh Rajput. They dismembered his body before sealing the parts inside a drum with cement in Meerut.
देखिए, ये जो वीडियो है, जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज है, ये 3 मार्च का है। रात में 11:45 पर जो सौरभ है वो अपने दोस्त के साथ में खाना लेने जा रहा है, और खाना लेने के बाद जब वो लौटा है तो उसके बाद उसकी कुछ देर बाद हत्या कर दी गई। तो उसी का ये वीडियो सामने आया है, जिसमें जो सौरभ है वो बाइक पर सवार होकर अपने दोस्त पंकज के साथ में खाना लेने जा रहा है। जब जो सौरभ है वो मुस्कान के घर में ही रुका हुआ था, और उसके बाद मुस्कान ने उसकी हत्या कर दी और साथ में उसके साहिल था। तो इस मामले में हर रोज नए जानकारियां और जो फुटेज हैं वो सामने आ रहे हैं, और उसी सीक्वेंस में ये फुटेज सामने आया है। वहीं इस पूरे मामले में जो मुस्कान और साहिल जो एक्यूज्ड हैं, उनसे कल मेरठ पुलिस जेल में जाकर उनका स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करेगी। इसके साथ में ही जो जेल अथॉरिटीज से मुस्कान और जो साहिल है, उन्होंने कहा था कि उनको साथ में रहना है, जिसके लिए जेल अथॉरिटीज ने डिनाई कर दिया है। जी।
And Sadar Zafar Ali, advocate of the disputed Shahi Jama Masjid, he was arrested in the case of Sambhal violence. He was arrested and then sent to court after long interrogation. Remember, this case is of the Sambhal Kotwali area. Zafar Ali, in fact, claimed that he did not incite any violence regarding the November 24th Sambhal incident. Zafar Ali, while being taken into custody by the Uttar Pradesh police on Sunday for questioning, he said that, and I quote, "I did not incite any violence." He was taken for questioning in connection with the violence that erupted in Sambhal on the 24th.
24 नवंबर 2024 को यहाँ पे विवादित स्थल पे सर्वे हो रहा था। उस सर्वे में लोगों के द्वारा पत्थरबाजी की गई, फायरिंग की गई, और जो कंस्पिरेसी थी उसमें जो अभियोग पंजीकृत किया गया था 335/24, उसमें आज जफर अली जो यहाँ पे जामा मस्जिद के सदर हैं, उनको गिरफ्तार करके जेल भेजा गया है। उनको कल देर रात्रि की हिरासत में पूछताछ की गई थी, फिर उनको छोड़ दिया गया था अपने धार्मिक क्रियाकलाप करने के लिए, और उसके बाद में आज जब प्रातः उनकी दोबारा पूछताछ के लिए बुलाया गया, और पूछताछ के बाद में उनको गिरफ्तार किया गया है। अभी इनको माननीय न्यायालय के सामने पेश किया गया है, वहाँ से जो भी माननीय न्यायालय का आदेश होंगे उसमें करना।
Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, he conducted a video conference at the Chief Minister's residence regarding the preparations for the upcoming festivals and security arrangements and the law and order situation in the state. In this particular meeting, Chief Secretary, Principal Secretary Home, DGP and other top government officials, they were also present with the Chief Minister, and the police administrative officers of all districts, they were connected through video conferencing. In a meeting regarding law and order, the Chief Minister expressed his displeasure over the case of kidnapping and murder of a girl in Lucknow and instructed to get the auto rickshaw drivers verified. He also instructed the police to ensure that minor rickshaw drivers do not drive the vehicles. As far as the upcoming festivals are concerned, the Chief Minister has also given instruction to ensure clean water and security along with the arrangements for the festivals. Along with this, the instructions have also been given by the Chief Minister that roads should not be obstructed due to namaz on Al-Wida, that is the last Friday of Ramzan and Eid. And a disturbing video from February this year has gone viral, showing a self-proclaimed pastor, Baljinder, physically assaulting a man and a woman in Jalandhar. The footage reveals Baljinder slapping the pair, sparking widespread outrage. Notably, Baljinder is already facing charges of sexual assault, yet no action has been taken regarding this particular incident of violence. Entrepreneur turned politician and former Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar is poised to take over as the next BJP Kerala chief, as the party's central leadership reportedly backed his nomination for the role. Chandrasekhar, who attended the party's core committee meeting in Thiruvananthapuram, he filed his nomination for president's post at the BJP's state headquarters there. The core group meeting was also attended by former Union Minister and Kerala in charge Prakash Javadekar, as well as the co-in-charge Aparajita Sarangi in Thiruvananthapuram, and as per sources, the announcement will be done in a day or two.
Last time, if you remember, Palakkad was one of those places which saw surprisingly a large number of BJP wins. So this time, that is going to set the tune. And of course, the BJP also feels that LDF is losing votes in terms of, that there is an anti-incumbency of 10 years. And the BJP feels that its Christian outreach is going to give it some gains. This is for the first time that it actually won an MP in Thrissur. So clearly, Kerala is looking promising for the BJP, because the party also feels that there is scope for not just Hindutva politics, but also caste politics works very differently there. It has also the largest number of RSS shakhas there. LDF is seen as the Hindu party, but LDF is also, according to the BJP, not very strong right now. And UDF, it's easy for them to call it a party that is associated with a Jamaat. So the BJP feels that a lot of, pros are working for it in the state of Kerala, better than a lot of other South Indian states, except for, of course, Karnataka. So with Rajiv Chandrasekhar, they're also hoping to drive this. He's also somebody, who understands media. He also understands narratives, so clearly he will be somebody who will be of value to the BJP, and will also be able to unite the factions that have been working against each other in the BJP.
For the latest in the Karnataka honey trap row, the Legislative Council chair, he said that he's contemplating resignation. He also added that he's upset over the standard of the debate that is taking place and that he's thinking of leaving his post. He also said that the conduct of the members is worsening and that he regrets the honey trap issue being discussed.
Government has given statement, we will inquire thoroughly. We are thinking whether we can appoint a retired judge or court or whatever. Government is seriously thinking, and it will be inquired. Till they are continuing the same, and they exhibited CD and this placards. Last from 45 years I am in the council. I have not seen like this attitude. So it hurt me. So I am seriously thinking whether I should sit there or not. Being a responsible person, I should not sit like a spectator.
Welcome back. Canada's newly appointed Prime Minister Mark Carney has called a snap election, sending the country to the polls on 28th of April. The election call comes as Canada faces a trade war and threats to its sovereignty from the United States, issues that are expected to be top of the mind for the voters. In fact, my colleague Maha Siddiqui gets us the details.
I've just requested that the Governor-General dissolve Parliament and call an election for April 28th. And she has agreed. It's time for all of us to come together and be strong. So I'm asking for your vote so we can be Canada strong. Canada fort. Vive le Canada.
Canada is heading for early elections on the 28th of April, 6 months ahead of time. The earlier scheduled date was for the 20th of October. Now, the elections have been announced after Prime Minister Mark Carney met with the Governor General and asked her to dissolve the parliament, and then told reporters that the date for the next election is going to be 28th April, which is a Monday. As mandated, elections for the federal government have to be held on a Monday, barring some exceptions. This also gives all the parties at least 37 days of campaigning, which is again a mandate here in Canada that parties get that amount of period for campaigning. So technically, campaigning has already started, with Mark Carney himself proposing a middle-class tax cut, saying that the lowest bracket of tax will now be 1% lower, which means that this will put about $825 back in the pockets of the Canadian families. Now, this comes at a time when Canada is facing a trade war with the US. So largely the campaigns are going to focus for all the various parties here in Canada on that count, on that front. And that is exactly what Mark Carney also said, that he is seeking the mandate of the Canadians to be able to take on Donald Trump in a stronger manner. And on the other hand, a leader of opposition, Pierre Poilievre, has also said the same with regards to his election campaign too. Meanwhile, in the about 10 days of his prime ministership, Mark Carney has already announced major decisions. For instance, capital gains tax as well as carbon tax, and also saying that there will be no GST for first-time house buyers, bringing about a relief considering that Canadians are braced for further inflation rather, because of the trade war with the United States. Today, Mark Carney said that he intends to take on the US both on the economic as well as the annexation threat, and that he knows that when Canadians are united, they can fight back better. And he ended his speech today outside the Rideau Hall by saying, "Vive Canada, long live Canada," and that is likely to be clearly the focus of this election campaign in Canada. Meanwhile, Mark Carney is going for these elections, early elections, because if you take a look at the opinion polls, the Liberal Party has made a remarkable comeback, something that historically no parallel is being found to. Within weeks after Donald Trump took over as the President of the United States, and with his economic and tariff threats towards Canada, the Canadians, the opinion of the Canadians flipped back in favor of the Liberal Party. An Ipsos survey along with the Global News says that now the Liberal Party is 6 points ahead of the Conservatives, which is surprising considering that the Conservatives had been leading the Liberals for almost a year now here in Canada in opinion polls. And the approval rating of Mark Carney is also at the moment much higher than Pierre Poilievre. So this is the time that the Liberal Party and Mark Carney clearly want to capitalize on.